Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Matty here from Chill TCG. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Grand Finals match from the 450 some player Chill Series number 39 tournament. Great turnout, great amount of players. It was really fun. We're getting right to the end of season number 4 of Chill Series, so I'm super excited. We have a great match today. I believe we have John WT was his username versus Icarus here, and we're going to get right back into it. He disconnected, but got back into it. The game hadn't started yet, so we're going to get right into it. Yeah, John here is playing Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, and he's playing against Icarus here, who is, of course, playing Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. Most people know that, of course, Urshifu is weak to Calyrex, so, probably not going to be the most even matchup in terms of, both of these archetypes playing against each other. Of course, people assume, I assume, everybody assumes that Calyrex has the advantage. However, Urshifu definitely can pull out the win. It's got things like this Jirachi-GX, which unfortunately Icarus is going to be starting with, but at least it's good. He'll be able to get it on his board. But even so, definitely going to be a tough matchup, I think, for Icarus here. But we'll see. You never know. So he starts with the Shadow Rider V. He does put that Marshadow immediately on the bench. And then he's going to go ahead and Fog Crystal for the Gengar Mimikyu, which he is debating whether he's going to attach to it or the Shadow Rider. I think it's definitely a good play to attach to that Gengar Mimikyu because next turn, we're probably going to want to use the full effect for Horror House with the 2 Psychic Energy so that we can also draw cards. So attaching to the Gengar Mimikyu definitely seems like a smart play because nothing really in John's hand right now is super progressive. So, that's the good thing about Gengar Mimikyu is, it's a great stall card, so it's phenomenal in Shadow Rider. But it can also draw you some cards, which, of course, has a very strong ability in its own right. So it looks like Icarus here, he's going to be Pokécomming to potentially find a Rapid Strike to attach to. It looks like he's grabbing the Sobble. So this is Urshifu Inteleon now. This is going to be his main draw engine, so he wants to get these Sobbles down on his board. Definitely, fill his board up with these bad boys so that he can, of course, evolve them into that Drizzile, which he did just discard, but he's got a 4-4 lineup, so, not a big deal. He is running the Evil Admonition Hoopa as well, so that could be a really great single prize attacking option against all of the Pokemon in John's list, because it's a Dark type. It's hitting all those, Psychic type Pokemon in his list for weakness. So we see the Dedenne come out. He's going to draw a bunch of cards. Okay, yeah, so he gets double Sobble down on board. He's definitely going to want to get an Urshifu down on board now for his last bench spot. He's got the Jirachi. He's got a couple Sobbles, so he should be able to work with what he has here. If he can get an Urshifu down, that would be extremely ideal for him, especially if he is able to attach an energy. But it looks like what we might see from him here is okay, so he immediately grabs the Drizzile. We might not see the Urshifu get benched this turn. That would be really interesting. He actually level balls, so he's grabbing it looks like he grabbed double Drizzile here, which is definitely pretty cool. And I think he knows that he's about to get Horror House next turn, so we're going to just attack on our first turn, do, not a whole lot of damage, 60 to the Gengar Mimikyu, but it is better than nothing, whereas John top decks another weakness, Weak Guard Energy. So Weak Guard Energy is actually pretty cool in Shadow Rider. Now, its attack cost isn't Psychic. It's actually Colorless Energy. It just doesn't boost the damage from the Shadow Rider attack. So we're not going to be able to attach those Weak Guard Energies to Gengar Mimikyu. We need Psychic Energies to use that Pokemon's attack. But for Shadow Rider, we can attach those Weak Guard Energies. And, of course, it's going to eliminate our Dark-type weakness. So it's interesting to see. And in my opinion, it might actually be, one of the more interesting, I guess, versions of Shadow Rider, sorry, a little pause there in the video, my bad. So yeah, a lot of people are taking in things like Zapdos to Shadow Rider to kind of counter Eternatus, but I think Weak Guard Energy might actually just be, pretty viable, realistically. When you draw 2 of them at the beginning of the game, it's probably not great. Of course, they don't really work with any of the things that are going on. You have to just manually attach them, but, you put a couple in the list, probably draw into them because you draw pretty well, pretty consistently with Shadow Rider. So we do see him find the VMAX. He only has 1 on board, but he is going to Underworld Door to that VMAX there on the bench, while he already got one attached, or an energy attached to the Gengar Mimikyu in the active spot. So we're going to see that full effect Gengar Mimikyu, Horror House GX and attack come out. So he's going to draw some cards, but he's probably going to want to thin down his hand here. We see that he does play that Fog Crystal, grab a Shadow Rider V. He's going to put that down. We're probably going to Quick Ball away something as well, and he has yet to manually attach. So the Weak Guard Energies aren't actually going to be super viable in terms of, like, they're not going to be super useful in this matchup. We do see the Evil Admonition Hoopa there in the active, so that's something that we could manually attach perhaps to the Gengar Mimikyu and stop it from actually getting KO'd next turn. That could actually be a really viable strategy, but he's going to commit that Weak Guard Energy to the Calyrex. It looks like, he might not... well, this is definitely an interesting play. So he already GX attacked last turn. actually. So he drew those cards. And he's going to Poltergeist the active, so he could have bossed up the Hoopa to potentially KO it. But we see that there's only one Marnie in his hand, so he's literally, even after this 8-card hand from Icarus, he's only doing 50 damage to the active Dedenne-GX, so that's definitely pretty unfortunate. We see him bench the Urshifu V there. He attaches the Rapid Strike energy to it, and we're going to evolve one of those Drizziles. Looks like he's grabbing a Switch card through the Shady Dealings ability, and he's going to switch into that Hoopa most likely, now that there are 2 Pokemon with abilities, so he should be doing 160 damage. He actually switches into the Jirachi, which is a free pivot with the Air Balloon, so probably the smart play to do that. And now he's going to go ahead and grab Karate Belt, actually, through the second Drizzile Shady Dealings, and it looks like he's going to attach that Karate Belt to the Urshifu, and we're going to see a Marnie here, so a very strong turn from Icarus, really a phenomenal turn from him. We're gonna see. I mean, he might get some good damage off on the Gengar Mimikyu. He might just attack again with a Hoopa. You never know. You never know. So yeah, we're gonna hit with Hoopa. Does 100 damage, slowly whittling away this Gengar Mimikyu, which is a 3-prize Pokemon. So I think that Marnie was smart. It also kind of allowed him to see new cards. But John seems to have drawn a pretty decent hand as well off that. So we potentially could just knock out this this Hoopa in the active spot. We need a way to switch out of that Calyrex, but we can Underworld Door, which is exactly what he's going to do. Probably attached to himself here, and he's going to draw +2 cards. So looking for a switching out Air Balloon, just a switch, whatever he might need. And it looks like we're going to Pokecom away the V Calyrex that's in our hand, and he's probably going to grab another VMAX. I'm going to try to potentially draw some more cards this turn. That definitely could be pretty ideal. All right, so there comes the second Shadow Rider VMAX. Not bad at all. And that Fog Crystal will allow him to grab another Psychic Energy, a basic one. So here comes the second Underworld Door. He's going to attach that to the open one here. Draw a couple cards. Still nothing, but we do find another energy. So at least we're, rapidly accelerating energy onto our board. What he could do is attach there and play Path to the Peak. Manual Retreat, with Path to the Peak, the Jirachi ability is shut off. So we could use that to KO the active Urshifu. That's actually exactly what he's doing, which is definitely interesting. Although... Okay, so he does put down Path to the Peak. He's probably just going to attack with Gengar Mimikyu, though. Actually, he doesn't. Okay, so exactly what I said he would probably do. He's going to go into this Calyrex, and we'll just get the KO here. And this is good, because this Calyrex has a bunch of HP onto it. There are 3 Pokemon with abilities. So Gengar Mimikyu, or not Gengar Mimikyu, sorry, Hoopa is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage on this Calyrex, but it's not going to be enough to KO it. We still have Research in hand, of course, to draw some more cards next turn. So John's in a pretty good spot. Icarus did have a few really good turns earlier, but that turn right there, KOing the Urshifu, was absolutely phenomenal for John. Definitely, was really important in terms of how this matchup will likely continue to go. We see another Sobble come down, and I believe Icarus is probably running the quick shooting Inteleons. I think that's what Urshifu, Rapid Strike Urshifu Inteleon typically runs, although he might have some Shady Dealings Inteleons in his list, but he's going to prioritize grabbing another Urshifu. Definitely probably the best play he could be doing here. I don't know if he has any other cards in hand to draw cards, and he does, so there's the Research, and it looks like he's going to be discarding 3 cards in hand. Reset Stamp, Switch, and I don't know what that third one was. Was it Erika's? I don't even know. But, yes, he's going to attach another Rapid Strike energy to the Urshifu. We're going to see that quick shooting Inteleon come out. And he's going to ping the benched Calyrex, which is interesting. So he doesn't actually target the Gengar Mimikyu, which I do find to be interesting for sure. But John, he's going to be able to slowly draw some more cards off these Underworld Doors up in the upcoming turns, which definitely could be pretty good. But he doesn't actually need Boss anymore because this Urshifu is just up in the active spot. Although he's strafing anyway, so he's going to probably move back down. Yeah, so he grabs the Dedenne. So that Path to the Peak, he top decks the Boss. John with the Boss top deck. So he's just going to be able to boss up this, he can't Underworld Door, of course, anymore. But yeah, he's just going to be able to boss up the Urshifu. Yeah, actually, unless he top deck Boss, he wouldn't have been able to do that, though, because Path to the Peak was in play. So he wouldn't have been able to Underworld Door to draw some more cards. But fortunately for John, very unfortunately for Icarus, he's able to top deck the Boss and just take another KO on another Urshifu. And that's going to be all but sealing the deal here. I don't think that you really have enough time to set up another Urshifu. To start attacking with that. We have double quick shooting Inteleons, which could be cool. We might be able to ping down the Gengar Mimikyu to KO that next turn. But this Hoopa is definitely not going to be enough to take down a Calyrex VMAX, in my opinion. So kind of a race against time, and it looks like Icarus is definitely struggling with this. We'll see how it goes for sure. We'll see how it goes for sure. Looks like John is just going to be reading this boss card. Just checking out the art, just appreciating it. We see that Icarus grabs another Urshifu V. So I think that you might as well start setting it up. I guess it's still your best strategy, your best play, your best route, but overall it probably just isn't going to be, enough time, really. The first one would have been nice if you got that second up, or got that first one up, and once the second one got KO'd, that's a little bit much of a stretch to try to come back in this game. So unfortunately for Icarus, he's definitely fighting the uphill battle here. But John is all out of boss's orders. But he continues to ping the Calyrex, which I do find to be really interesting. That Gengar Mimikyu could have been dead by now, actually. Could have been knocked out by now. He's going to quick ball away a Research. Looks like he might be grabbing a Dedenne just to kind of discard this hand and move through his deck. I don't think he has another boss's orders, although he could possibly. But he's going to go ahead and quick ball for a Shadow Rider V. He's going to put that bad boy down just to kind of bench it. Because I guess that's not going to hurt anything. We have Marshadow, so we could pop the Marshadow. There's a lot of things that John can do here. We're going to quick ball away another Research because we had 3 in hand. And it looks like a Dedenne might be his best bet here. So I don't know. Maybe he has a 4th boss in his deck. Maybe he has Great Catcher. I'm not sure exactly what his list is running. But yeah, so he's going to get rid of that Path to the Peak before he puts down Dedenne. Definitely a smart play on his part. You don't want to forget about Path to the Peak and put down Dedenne because it will not work. He's going to discard the VMAX and the Research, and we find a lot of stuff in this new hand, but nothing that's really going to seal the deal and win us the game this turn. And unfortunately, no basic Psychic Energies either. So, I mean, realistically, though, I think if we can just attack the active, KO it, I don't really know what, Icarus can do. The problem, though, is without Path to the Peak, Jirachi's ability is in effect, so we're not going to be able to one-shot a VMAX. So I think that John, what he wants to do is build up as much energy on his board as he possibly can. He Marnies, but unfortunately doesn't find any energies, but he does find the last boss's order, so it looks like he is running 4 boss in his list, and that's definitely important to know. So he's going to shuffle some Pokemon, some energies back into his deck. At this point, why not? Just decides to grab the Marshadow, which is interesting, and he's going to get 2 of those Psychic Energies, which he discarded off Gengar Mimikyu earlier. We can attach the Air Balloon to the active, potentially, but taking a KO on this Inteleon here pretty much seals the deal, unless we see a Marnie from Icarus or a Reset Stamp. This boss's orders is going to mean that Game 1 will be going to John and his Shadow Rider Calyrex list, and it's actually crazy. This is the 4th week in a row we saw Shadow Rider in finals. It's actually crazy, right? I mean, Shadow Rider has literally made finals 4 times in a row since it was even released in Chilling Reign. So far, it's 2 for 3. We'll see if it could go 3 for 4 in terms of actually winning Chill Series tournament. So we're going to see 100 Furious Blows to the active Calyrex. Doesn't hit for weakness, and we actually resist fighting as well, so that's not doing a whole lot of damage, only 120. Path to the Peak comes into play, and he knows that, okay, so that's a quick scoop up there from Icarus. Swift win, just very decisive win for John. With playing Shadow Rider. He's going to collect his coin for the week, and let's get into game number 2. All right, let's get right into it. Game number 2 in a best-of-3 set, grand finals. 450-something players all came down to this last two. This last matchup between these last 2 players. It's funny to me, right? We get the best deck from Battle Styles, Rapid Strike Urshifu against probably the best deck from Chilling Reign, Shadow Rider Calyrex. So, of course, one of these decks has the advantage over the other, but both are really phenomenal lists, and it's really cool to see new lists, new archetypes, new cards being at the forefront of the meta. It looks like John here will be going first yet again, which is a very interesting play. I'm not sure if Icarus wanted to go second. Definitely an interesting situation for sure. I don't know exactly why that happened, but never mind, he is going second. So it looks like Icarus just passed his first turn. I'm not sure. Very, very interesting. I don't know exactly what's happening, but John here, he does get 2 Shadow Riders down on the board, which is definitely really, really good. He just kind of hits that Inteleon for 10 damage, but it's not going to be able to play any special energies or stadiums, I believe, from his hand next turn. That is actually a really, really powerful effect to be on Icarus this turn. So we see the Hoopa come down. We're going to see the Ordinary Rod come out, and I'm not sure exactly what he's going to grab here. He's going to just grab that Drizzile back into his list. He might have does he have an energy in there as well? No, okay, so he just burns Rod to put the Drizzile back because he will be researching away the hand. Let's see what he's getting rid of. Double Boss and Reset Stamp and another card that might have been, I don't know, I forget. But we're going to bench the Urshifu, attach to the Inteleon, the Sobble actually, and we're going to use the Keep Calling attack. Not going to do any damage, but he's going to be able to find 3 Rapid Strike Pokemon and put them onto his bench, and that's likely going to be some Sobbles. At least 2, could be an Urshifu. and that's exactly what he's going to do. So 3 Sobbles on board, not too bad. I mean, this one in the active is probably going to get KO'd, but we have 2 Sobbles and we have 2 Urshifus on the board. So not in a terrible position, really, if you're Icarus so far. But we'll see. I mean, John's really going to have to draw something pretty good off of this. He's going to have to draw something pretty good off this Underworld Door. Nothing in his hand is actually really progressive for him. Let's see what he gets off these 2 cards. We get another V, Calyrex V. But unfortunately, he's not going to really be able to make too many moves this turn. I don't know if he wants to attach that Psychic Energy, realistically. So he attaches the weak guard. He's going to save the Psychic for next turn so we can also Underworld Door to draw some more cards next turn. Yeah, I mean, not really much going on for John. He's just going to hit the active Sobble for another 10 damage. However, Icarus isn't going to be able to play any stadiums or special energy, so that could be pretty important in the long run. He's only going to be able to attach 1 energy to the Urshifu instead of the double energy. We're going to see in Pokecom away the Inteleon. Could be grabbing a Drizzile. It's exactly what he's going to do. So he's going to be able to utilize Shady Dealings here to find himself any trainer card in his list, and he's going to be able to use that card this turn to potentially, get himself in the game. So he actually grabs Erika's Hospitality. So he doesn't want a Marnie. He doesn't want to research because he knows his opponent doesn't have a great hand, and he might have some useful cards in his hand as well. So he's just going to go ahead and draw, I believe, 3 or 4 cards. Yeah, 3 cards. So maybe a +3 draw was important. We see the second Drizzile come out, though, and that could grab him, an Evolution Incense or an Energy Spinner. So it looks like he probably has the VMAX in hand. He just wants to find some basic energy so that he can attach them to his Urshifu. So I really do like it. I like the play here. The Level Ball comes out. We could grab a 3rd Drizzile. That's definitely what he's going to do. So 3 Shady Dealings. Drizzile is coming out this turn. So his list is moving pretty correctly. It's definitely got a nice flow to it this game. And he seems to be in probably a much better spot this game than he was last game. So he's going to attach to the Urshifu there on the bench. He's going to switch into it. Now, the only problem here, right, the only problem that I see with this is we do not have that Jirachi in the or in hand or on the board, right? We don't even have room for it. So that Psychic weakness is going to be pretty relevant. And one Underworld Door comes out, doesn't find anything that he actually needs to, realistically. So it looks like he's probably just going to be, well, what he could do is attach to the active and retreat. But that's going to only bring him 3 energies or 2 Psychic energies to boost the damage. So it looks like we're just going to attack the active for 20 damage. Not going to be super important, but we're going to conserve that energy so that we can Underworld Door yet again next turn. Probably the safe play. Here comes the Evolution Incense. So now we're going to get these quick shooting Inteleons out, the Rapid Strike Inteleons from Chilling Reign. And we are going to be able to spread some damage, get some things rolling here, and potentially, right? I mean, potentially, get something going. So it looks like he scoop up one of the Drizzile, and he's going to use that so that he can Shady Dealings it this turn. Reuse those Drizziles. Really, really good stuff to see. And now we see the Switch card come into play. So he might be switching into the Hoopa here to hit weakness on the active and take the KO. So the Quick Ball is coming out, and he discards the Special Energy because, again, he can't use it when Shadow Mist has been played. So it looks like he's going to Quick Ball Tower of Waters and the Mew, 2 cards that probably aren't going to be super useful in the matchup. And we do find a second Quick Shooting Inteleon. So Icarus is definitely rolling this turn. There's only one Pokemon with abilities with an ability on John's board. But with the quick shooting Inteleons, that's plus 40 damage. And he's doing 60. Okay. That might have been a misplay, because I think he could have quick shooting the active again with the other Inteleon. I guess he just didn't. Maybe did the math wrong. I'm not sure. Definitely seemed to be a misplay. And pretty unfortunate, because we do top deck. We do find these Shadow Rider VMAX, and we're going to be able to accelerate some energies. And we have Air Balloon on board. So missing that KO for Icarus might have been the difference. Definitely a tough play for Icarus, man. You don't want to be making those plays in Grand Finals. Definitely pretty unfortunate. So it looks like John here, he could grab another VMAX, because that's really all he has on board right now is these Calyrex. Do not Dedenne before you attach Air Balloon. That would be pretty unfortunate if you were to do so. You could put Path to the Peak in play, and Marshadow in play, but then you wouldn't be able to Dedenne. So, kind of a catch-22 here. It looks like he's going to switch into the Calyrex, attach the Air Balloon to the active most likely, and then now, okay, so he's actually just going to attack and take the KO here. Kind of feeling safe about his choices. No pressure to really play too many cards. Taking one prize here is even going to be quite advantageous. So maybe Icarus, I don't know. Maybe he preferred not to KO the the Calyrex because he knows that he can KO it next turn to draw some cards. Overall, it was definitely an interesting play. I think it would have been better to KO it last turn and bring some fresh Pokemon up to the active spot to get damage onto that. But you know what? You never know. I guess. You never know. So we see the second Urshifu come out. Now there is a bench space open, so we can calm here. He's probably going to grab that Jirachi to get rid of his Psychic weakness. But Path to the Peak is in play for John, or is in hand for John. So even if this... okay, so we see the third Quick Shooting Inteleon come out. So now we're at plus 60 damage every turn to whatever Pokemon we want, which is really powerful. But, okay, so here's the Quick Ball. He might be actually grabbing something to draw some more cards. He actually just shuffles it back into his list, and he's going to research. So perhaps he doesn't have Jirachi-GX in list. Maybe it is prized. So we're going to Quick Shooting. We're going to take the KO on that benched one. On that benched Calyrex V. We're going to draw a couple cards here. Only 8 cards left in Icarus's deck. At least he is taking 2 prize cards here, but overall, I think that this is definitely a pretty sketchy situation for him to be in, especially with no Jirachi. So I think he's going to be hoping that he takes it off the prize cards here, if it is prized, which it does seem to be. And now the Evolution Incense is going to come out. So again, kind of thinning through his deck at this point, or just playing cards to play them. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, so... yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, without that Jirachi, I mean, you know, John's just 1 boss away from taking the game, really. Or 2 bosses away from taking the game. And he's got 4 bosses orders left in his list, so he's going to start picking the benched Calyrex. And now that's got 40 damage onto it. He can switch into the Urshifu, but without that Jirachi, it's going to get KO'd next turn. So he's definitely in a really, really tricky position. If he doesn't have a Rapid Strike energy to attach to the Urshifu, you know, in the next few turns, then I don't know if he even has any opportunity at all to win the game. So definitely could be pretty interesting. So there's the Rapid Strike energy and the Telescopic Sight, which is good. If that Passimian comes into play, which I believe was in his hand, did he discard the Passimian? He might have. So we're going to G-Max Rapid Flow the bench. So this is his win condition, and this is how he thinks he's going to win the game here. But the problem is, like, if he had Jirachi, he would live a hit, and then we could set it up again for next turn to do another attack to potentially seal the deal on this game. But I don't think he has what it takes. I think he's just 1 turn behind his strategy here. And looks like the Underworld Door is going to be able to come out. And he's going to draw some cards off that. So I think what he wants here is to just hit the active 100% and take the KO. But he needs a couple more energies, I believe. Although right now he might be doing enough, actually. Yeah, I think he is to get the KO. But I think evolving this Calyrex as well is also really good. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you Dedenne to try to have boss's orders in hand. I think you attach Air Balloon before you play Dedenne. Definitely the smart play. Cool. Yeah, so I think we're going to Dedenne here. We're going to draw 6 cards, discard this hand. Not really needed. We just want boss's orders in hand, and unfortunately we don't find it. But we can Underworld Door a few more times. Move through our deck a little bit quickly. This is what Calyrex Shadow Rider does best. And we're going to be able to try and find that boss's orders. Find the Marnie and the Gengar Mimikyu, but no boss's orders. Here comes the third and last Underworld Door. And do we potentially find that boss? We do, the very last card that we draw this turn. So now this is really good. It's a good situation to be in because we can have boss's orders for game next turn as long as we do not see any hand disruption from Icarus. We'll see. You know, we'll see what pans out. I definitely think that John has the advantage here. I think that he's definitely ahead in this game. From the start, this was a really tough matchup for Icarus. And whether that misplay earlier was a misplay or it was intended, either way, definitely an interesting situation for Icarus to be in. So we're gonna research away the Marnie. He knows that he doesn't want to play that Marnie because he, you know, decking out Icarus might be a smart situation. Or he just kind of assumes he doesn't need Marnie in this scenario. So he's going to go ahead and start thinning through his deck. So he's going to calm away some stuff. A quick while away some stuff. Take some cards out of his list. I think at this point, he's just going to grab that back. So, yeah, I mean, just thinning some cards from hand. I think, really. And we're going to go ahead and attach to... well, I mean, we could attach. I don't see why not. Is he going to boss this turn? He does boss this turn. What's the benefit of doing this, I wonder? You would have KO'd the active. I guess this one had more HP, but yeah, I mean, okay, so we take boss off the prize cards anyway. Maybe he checked his prize cards and he knew that he had boss in the disc in one of his prize cards. Yeah, so I mean, 2 off the prize cards. So I don't know. Maybe it was calculated from John. I don't know. But now he's got 2 boss's orders in his hand. If Icarus doesn't do something to disrupt John's hand this turn, and he does, so there's the Marnie. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not looking like a great situation. I guess maybe he KO'd the benched Urshifu because he wouldn't have been able to use Karate Belt for game. So maybe that was actually really smart. Maybe that was really smart. But, you know, I mean, unless... Yeah, I mean, now actually, Icarus might actually win this game, I think, right? Because, you know, if John doesn't have boss, then he's going to lose. Because he loses next turn. So, interesting. Definitely interesting. I'm just trying to think, right? Because G-Max Rapid Flow will do enough to KO both of those, any Pokemon on the bench, and he's only got 4 prize cards left. And I don't think that John has Dedenne left because I think he discarded one earlier. So I don't know. Yeah. So but he can still Gengar Mimikyu, I suppose. But actually, yeah, that's the play. Yeah, we can Gengar Mimikyu because we can stall for a turn and we can potentially draw some more cards. So he attaches to the Gengar Mimikyu because why not? And now we're going to Marnie here. Hopefully we draw some Psychic Energies. We do. So actually, yeah, I mean, this is really interesting. This Gengar Mimikyu is actually going to save him the game because he's going to be able to Underworld Door to this Gengar Mimikyu. If we get a second Underworld Door, we're going to draw some extra cards as well. And we do get a second energy. So we're going to be able to, we're going to be able to Horror House from this Gengar Mimikyu. We don't find boss, but it's fine because we're going to be able to draw some extra cards at the very least, right? And yeah, so I think we can burn a lot of these cards in our hand. And wow. And he's going to start thinning. He's going to just thin even more. He's going to Fog Crystal for another one. We have a third Underworld Door we could pull out. He's got 2 Boss's Orders left in his list. I mean, this Gengar Mimikyu will win him the game here. And I don't think that there's any way around it at this point for Icarus. So, wow, I mean, I didn't actually think about that until it happened, but an incredibly fortunate and smart play for John here. And yeah, we're going to see the Whorehouse GX. He already has boss in hand, so he knows, right? There's literally nothing that Icarus can do. He can't play any cards from hand. He can't attach energy. He literally just wins the game this turn from the Gengar Mimikyu Whorehouse GX. So, wow, that's going to be game number 2. Very interesting ending and a very interesting way to win this matchup. So, very entertaining to me. John played phenomenally. Definitely had the advantage in this matchup. You know, I'm not going to say it wasn't easier for him than other matchups. But yeah, and we're not going to be even able to KO the Gengar Mimikyu as well with Urshifu. So, there it is. That's going to be game number 2. 2 out of 2 for John here, and he will be our Chill Series number 39 champion. Great match. Really great match. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Matty from Chill TCG. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to play in Chill Series tournaments every week on Wednesday. Especially this upcoming Wednesday, which is Chill Series number 40, the last Chill Series of the season before the Invitational Tournament. I highly recommend that you go register for it. And also play in the GG Tour Chill TCG Cup number 4, which is this weekend, because we have $1,000 in cash on the prize line. So we're going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Matty from Chill TCG. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you guys next time.